After sailing aboard Icon of the Seas in April, I was convinced that no other megaship would wow me the same way. However, moments after I stepped on MSC World America, I realized that the world-class ship stands out in her own way. Both vessels are massive, measuring over 210,000 gross registered tons and carrying over 6,800 guests at maximum capacity. But that's where the similarities stop. Here's how Icon of the Seas and MSC World America compare, and why I wouldn't hesitate to sail aboard the latter again, despite having been on over 15 Royal Caribbean cruises. First, MSC World America is a lot more affordable than Icon of the Seas. Icon of the Seas isn't the least expensive cruise ship on the market. In fact, I'd argue she is one of the most expensive mainstream cruise ships available. For some, cruising on one of the world's largest ships is worth the hefty price tag. However, Icon remains out of reach for a lot of families. Enter MSC World America. Thanks to MSC's budget-friendly pricing, it's easy to cruise on one of the newest and largest ships at sea for a fraction of what Icon of the Seas costs. Plus, if you're interested in premium experiences, MSC's Yacht Club is an affordable way to experience luxury at sea without shelling out money for Royal Caribbean's Royal Suite class. Earlier this year, my partner and I spent approximately $7,000 on our vacation aboard Icon of the Seas, which included the cruise fare and add-ons such as shore excursions, specialty dining packages, and the deluxe beverage package. The kicker, we didn't even have an ocean view balcony. Comparatively, we spent $7,010.32 on our Yacht Club Deluxe Suite. Although the prices were similar, the experiences couldn't have been more different. MSC's Yacht Club fare includes everything from a premium drink package to Wi-Fi, priority embarkation, thermal spa access, butler service, 3 private restaurants, a lounge and a pool deck, exclusive cocktail hours, and more. We were treated like royalty from the moment we arrived at MSC's new terminal in Miami, Florida, which set the tone for a one-of-a-kind voyage. To be blunt, I've never stayed within Royal Caribbean's Royal Suite class because of the higher price tag. So, being able to stay within MSC's Yacht Club at a more accessible rate was a great treat. That said, not everyone wants to spend $7,000 on a cruise vacation. Still, MSC World America's base fares are lower than comparable sailings on Icon of the Seas. Here are a few examples. An interior cabin for 2 adults, with taxes and fees, starts at $2,410 on MSC World America's July 27, 2026 sailing. The price jumps to $3,670 for 2 guests in an interior stateroom on Icon of the Seas. Likewise, an ocean view balcony cabin for 2 adults, including taxes and fees, cost $3,470 on Icon of the Seas September 19, 2026 sailing. A similar stateroom on MSC World America would cost just $2,360 for 2 travelers. Moving on, the food on MSC World America left little to be desired. Maybe it's because I cruise too frequently, but Royal Caribbean's food hasn't been as impressive as it used to be. Although I wouldn't go as far as saying it's bad, the quality is pretty inconsistent, especially in the included restaurants. That said, MSC doesn't really have the best dining reputation either. However, in my opinion, the food was better on MSC World America than on Icon of the Seas. There were definitely still a few misses, but overall, the meals were flavorful, well-presented, and diverse. To be fair, I'm neither a food critic nor classically trained in anything cuisine-related. Others may come to their own conclusions, as everyone has different taste buds and preferences. On MSC World America, I loved grabbing fresh chicken tenders from Pizza and Burger in the World Galleria. Were they the best I've ever had? Not by a long shot, but they were consistently hot and crispy. Speaking of pizza, MSC's fresh slices beat Sorrento's by a long shot. Whether grabbing pizza as an afternoon pick-me-up or a late-night snack, I was never disappointed. As a European cruise line, it's evident that MSC takes great pride in its pizza. I also really enjoyed my meals in the Yacht Club restaurant, more so than some of my specialty meals aboard Icon of the Seas. For example, the Cabernet Braised short ribs were some of the best I've ever had on a cruise ship. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention MSC's fresh pasta too. There's a wide variety of freshly made pasta options available throughout the ship, from the main dining rooms to the Yacht Club restaurants and the buffet. I was also impressed with the food temperature. Although it may seem like a small detail, I've sailed on cruise ships where I've been lucky to be served 1 or 2 lukewarm meals. That was never the case on MSC World America. Although MSC World America's food was a highlight, the entertainment was better on Icon of the Seas. If you want to be wowed by the onboard entertainment lineup, I wouldn't get your hopes up for MSC World America. Royal Caribbean has dominated the mainstream cruise industry for years when it comes to Broadway-style shows and cutting-edge entertainment technology. From The Wizard of Oz to the high-diving Aqua Theater Spectacular, Royal Caribbean consistently delivers productions that you won't believe are on a cruise ship, and better yet, are included in your fare. Comparatively, MSC's entertainment is far more modest. Although I enjoyed Dirty Dancing live in concert, the other performances weren't great. In fact, my partner and I straight up walked out of the Hall of Fame show in the main theater. The singers were pitchy and the choreography wasn't anything special. The poor entertainment quality wasn't a deal breaker, but if you're used to Royal Caribbean quality shows, you will be disappointed. Next, Icon has more activities, but you won't be bored on MSC World America. Between the record-breaking Category 6 water park, Flow Rider surf simulator, mini golf course, rock climbing wall, Crown's Edge ropes course zipline hybrid, and the Royal Escape Room, Icon of the Seas offers guests more to do than nearly any other cruise ship at sea, making it impossible to run out of activities during your cruise vacation. Still, MSC World America holds its own with a wide variety of activities. The Cliffhanger, for example, is an over-the-water swing that lets thrill seekers soar above the ocean. Just don't look down if you're afraid of heights like me. There's also a virtual reality water slide, kids aqua park, F1 racing simulator, bumper cars, a ropes course, Lego Family Zone, 2 arcades, and an 11-deck dry slide. That said, some of the more interesting attractions on MSC World America aren't included. For example, bumper cars run at $7 per car, while the Formula One racing simulator is $12 per person. The Cliffhanger also costs $9 per person per ride. Finally, both ships offer similar itineraries. Sailing from Miami, Florida, you can visit the Eastern or Western Caribbean aboard MSC World America or Icon of the Seas. As such, the biggest difference between the ships' itineraries is in which private island they visit. On Icon, you'll call it Royal Caribbean's Perfect Day at Coco Cay, while MSC World America visits Ocean Key, MSC Marine Reserve. Perfect Day at Coco Cay has a lot more to offer, from the massive thrill water park to the adults-only Hideaway Beach, large Oasis Lagoon pool, and the upscale Coco Beach Club. In comparison, Ocean Key is more laid back. MSC redeveloped the former industrial site into a serene paradise for its cruise passengers. Rather than focusing on amenities like Coco Cay, the island has a greater emphasis on conservation and sustainability. That said, there are some similarities that are important to think about when planning your day ashore. There are included island buffets for lunch, and both cruise lines' drink packages work on the island. Moreover, Royal Caribbean and MSC offer free trams to make navigating the islands easier. That's all for today, everyone. In the end, I don't think you can go wrong with either ship. However, I'm not here to tell you how to spend your hard-earned money. If you're a die-hard Royal Caribbean fan, sailing on MSC World America might be a hard sell because it's a completely different experience. There are definitely things that Icon does better too. For example, the Category 6 water park is a lot of fun, and the entertainment lineup is hard to beat. Still, as someone who grew up sailing with Royal Caribbean and didn't think they could come to appreciate other lines, MSC World America really surprised me and left a lasting impression on me.